Hey everyone, so my brother Andy and I just finished making a video on how to advise someone that's planning to sell their home here in the Bronx. Now, we've been successfully selling real estate here in Bronx and Westchester County for the past 17 years, and we've successfully sold over 500 properties. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Andy, what's the most common question you get when you're sitting down with a homeowner that's planning to put his property on the market?
So the question I get asked the most is, what should I do to prepare my home to sell?
In this video, we're gonna go over the top 3 strategies homeowners can use to prepare to put their property up for sale.
My name is Andy, and this is my brother Walter, and we are both real estate agents here in Westchester.
But before we start, let's talk about why preparing your home for the sale is so important. There are literally thousands of dollars on the line when you sell your home, and you only get to do it once.
So many homeowners believe that the value of their home is fixed, but this couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, the final price of the home is affected by 3 different factors. Number 1 being what the buyer is willing to offer, number 2, what the seller is willing to take, and 3, all the negotiating involved between the time the buyer sees the house and the closing table.
So knowing all of that, we know that the value of a house is never fixed and it can always change moment to moment.
And that's why we advise homeowners to do everything they can to maximize the value of their home.
So these are the 3 areas we want to focus on to increase the perceived value of your home. Number 1, the condition. Number 2, the appearance. And number 3, all the paperwork involved in selling your property.
So let's start with the condition of the home. When we sit down with homeowners, we ask them if they know what the number 1 killer of real estate deals is. And it's the home inspection. Many homeowners tell us that they're selling their house as is and they're not doing anything to fix it.
So Andy, you know that there are some big negative consequences to telling a buyer that the property is being sold as is. Because as soon as the buyer hears this, they immediately think that there's something wrong with the house.
And because they're afraid there might be something wrong with their home, they may not even want to make an offer, even if they like it.
Instead, what we explain to the homeowner is that nobody is going to want to give them their best price if the home is not in at least working condition.
So let's address as-is condition. The first problem with this is that as-is means something different to everyone.
For homeowners, it usually means that they're unwilling to take on any major renovation projects right before selling.
When we ask the same homeowner if they're willing to do any small fixes, like install smoke detectors, they usually agree. They just mean that they don't want to do any major renovations.
What we want to explain to the owner is that if the house is fully functional and everything's working properly, it's worth one price. And if things are broken and not working, it's worth less. We then review the 8 major home systems with the homeowner before we put the property on the market and go over what condition each one is in. And the 8 major home systems of any property are: number 1, the roof; number 2, the structure; number 3, the heating system; number 4, the cooling system; number 5, the electric; number 6, the plumbing; number 7, the windows; and number 8, the appliances. And to get the home sold for top value, we need to make sure that these 8 home systems are in at least working condition.
Now, there's a lot more we could say about the condition of a home. We could talk about illegal structures, asbestos, finished basements, but we want to keep this video brief.
So if you have any specific questions about your home's condition, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to answer any questions that you may have.
The next area we want to cover is the appearance of your home. Now, this could be a sensitive topic because the way people keep and show their home is entirely up to them.
Now, some people keep their homes immaculate and other homes are full of clutter. So no matter what situation we find ourselves, we always do our best to advise the homeowner on what they can do to improve the appearance of their property.
We want to make sure the home appears as best as possible, especially for the photos.
And we need to do this at the comfort level of the homeowner, because we understand that some homeowners care more about the appearance of their property than others. So we have to work at their comfort level.
This can be especially tricky when selling a home with tenants because they may not see the importance of keeping a home presentable during showings.
So we ask lots of questions to find out what the homeowner is willing and not willing to do, and then we provide staging advice according to their comfort level.
Because we've sold homes in all sorts of conditions, we know that the appearance of the home plays a big role in what a buyer is willing to offer.
And the next topic we cover is the paperwork. Now, there's not too much paperwork involved for a house. There's a lot more for a co-op and a condo, but each document is critical.
Let's start with the house. The most important document is the deed. It tells us who all the legal owners are.
We need to get a copy of the deed to make sure that all the people on the deed are accounted for.
For co-ops, you don't get a deed. You get a stock certificate, which shows you who all the shareholders of the unit are.
The next document is a certificate of occupancy. This gives you a legal description of the property. It shows you how many legal apartments there are. It can also show you if the property has a finished basement, garage, or any decks.
Not all houses are required to have a certificate of occupancy. In fact, if your house was built before the C of O law was passed in your town, then your house may not need one.
If we can't find a certificate of occupancy for your home, we then contact our title company to run a C of O search to find out if one even exists on your property.
This is all super important, especially when it comes to multifamily homes, homes with finished basements, or situations where you're dealing with an illegal deck.
So that's why it's important for us to get a copy of the certificate of occupancy early on in the process so we can plan ahead and help the owner prepare for the sale.
Those are the main documents. We also get a copy of your recent tax bill to verify what your property taxes are before any adjustments.
For co-ops, the paperwork can be a little bit more intensive. We get a copy of the sales application, the offering plan, the housing rules, the bylaws, and the last 2 years of financials.
Then we check with our bank to find out if financing for the building is available, especially since financing on co-ops is becoming more challenging.
This was a very brief introduction on everything that we do to prepare our homeowners to put their property on the market.
If you have any questions about your specific situation, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to us in the comments or message us directly.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.